I got married and divorced in my early 20s. I got married when I was 19 to my first boyfriend I'd ever had. We started dating when I was like 17 or 18. And then a couple years later, we got not married, which is also known as divorce. I literally never talk about this because I never speak publicly about it. Honestly, it's been such a hard thing to ever speak about. But I remember feeling really lonely through that process. And just in case there's one other girl out there who can relate, I will share a little bit. The person I married was an amazing man. He was great to me. We were really, really young when we got married. We got married during my parents getting a divorce, and I really wanted to make a stable family of my own. Nobody forced me to get married. If anything, people were like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah." 2 years later, I ended up getting a divorce because I woke up one day and I realized I'm best friends with this person, I'm roommates with this person, I'm co-workers with this person. We were youth pastors at the time, which I really, really hated, but that is for another story.
Man, before she goes on, did you guys hear what she said? She said he was an amazing man, he was a best friend, he was so good to her. All these things women usually said they want in a man. But then she went on to say she divorced him because of those same exact reasons. So now tell me how a man would see this and say, "Oh, so you mean it's not good enough to be a good man? So you mean you will divorce me because I'm being a good man, because I'm caring, because I'm kind, because I'm your best friend?" Because women usually say, "I want my best friend, I want all this." Tell me how a man will see such a story and think, yes, marriage and dating is something I really wish for. Tell me why. Tell me how it's going to be possible. So, why would a man not give up? Answer me. Why would a man watch such a video and think I should get married? I should go back to dating? This is why men are giving up. But let's continue because there's more.
Everyone said that being a youth pastor was my calling, and I'm pretty sure it was a prank call. But I remember thinking, I messed up and I don't want to keep wasting this man's time. Specifically, remember getting the thought and hearing myself say, I'm married to someone else's husband. The sooner I let him go, the sooner that he can start that process with the person he really should be with, who's going to love him the way he deserves. I growing up thought that I was going to be like breaking the generational curse of divorce. Grandparents have been divorced. My parents are divorced. When I got married, a lot of people were like, you're going to break this generational curse of divorce and it's going to be amazing. So then when I wanted to get a divorce, I was like, but what about the generational curse I'm supposed to break? I also was very depressed at the time, but I had this feeling of maybe I'm supposed to break the generational curse of staying married far, 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 far decades longer than you should, and then having people and yourself start over 20, 30 years down the road, especially when there's kids involved or ministries involved or all these things that you've built. I'm not saying this because I'm telling you, go get divorced if you have.
That's what you're telling other ladies. Because you pretty much started off the video saying you had a good man and you divorced him because you felt like he was someone else's husband. Honestly, my opinion, because obviously there is makeup, but you can tell that she's a good looking woman. So my instincts tell me when she was married, she still had so many men in her DMs hitting her up, trying to take her out. Maybe she met a man who has more money, which is the most likely scenario. Or maybe she saw her single friends out in the streets and she wanted to join them. So for me, I believe she was married, but she kept entertaining guys outside and she thought the grass was greener. That's the only reason. Because if there are no other men trying to holler at her trying to take her out, I don't think she would have divorced a good man. This is crazy, but this is the current dating. She's making this video because she's looking for other sisters, for the sisterhood to agree with her. Because if a man made the same exact video talking about how he divorced a good woman, they would call him crazy. They will probably cancel him. They will call him all sorts of things.
Had a fight with your husband and you're like, let me divorce this man. But I remember going through the loneliest time of my life when that was happening. I was so embarrassed. I was so ashamed. I lost all of my friends. And basically my life had to start over from scratch, especially because I worked in ministry. Like, my life was over. My life is over. God is done with me. Even though I knew that wasn't completely true, I still felt like, well, my life won't be as good as it would have been if I had stayed married, even though I really felt strongly that this was not the right situation for me. I remember people telling me, I'm not in the will of God anymore. I'm never going to be as happy as God would have intended me to be if I made this decision. I told a very close friend of mine who was a pastor, hey, I have to choose myself in this moment. I know that sounds corny, but like,
She has to choose herself in this moment. Selfishness. I'm not married, but I know marriage is not about self, it's together. The selfishness has to go out of the window the moment you go into marriage. So now for me, I don't know if this is a case of, wanting to go back to the streets. I'm sure it is. Um, it could be another case of, she was never advised about the real reason for marriage and what it takes. Maybe she wasn't counseled. And she claims her parents divorced soon after she got married. So maybe that could have been another thing. Like, so many things are wrong with this video, but there's one thing I know for sure. No man is going to watch this video and think, you know what? I should really get married. Like, no smart man is going to watch this video and think, you know what? I'm a good guy. I want a wife. I want to take care of my wife. But you know what? One day she's going to wake up and divorce me for being a good man for no reason. Yeah, I should get married. No man is going to ever do that.